Hi, and thanks for watching my Farmville videos. In this video, I want to go over the effective use of farmhands. Farmhands are those people you make requests to in your timeline, and then they show up and they do an action that you decide that you want them to do. First, let's go ahead and show you how the farmhands works. If you want to hire farmhands, you just click on the plus on the stacks of lumber out front, and you'll see a list of all of your friends, and then you can just pick from your friends. Now, I'd be careful not to just pick this entire list, because eventually what ends up happening is they only allow a certain amount of farmhands, and then if you look at here, it'll say that another farmhand is arriving, in this case 50 seconds, so this one's arriving pretty quickly. But let me go over here and see, no, this one's 70 seconds, so yeah, that's pretty quick too. But I've seen where they're arriving in like 6 hours, and you'll notice underneath where it says buy for $1, you can get them there quicker. I wouldn't worry about that. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show you how to harvest a bunch of feed that would normally take you 24 hours to grow. If you look over here, you can see I've got a ton of animals here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take, I've got these 2 rows still left up here that have nothing on them. I've only got 11 fertilizer right now, so I'm going to just, let's see, I'm going to go ahead and plant 8. So I'm going to click plant, and at the level I'm at, typically if you're at a lower level, sunflowers is probably a good one to have, but at the level I'm at, I don't need my money for anything. This is very expensive stuff, but I really need the feed points, and the feed points that I get are the very best at level 26 for cucumbers. And I know that's expensive, $70 a plot. But remember, we're going to fertilize these as well. So I'm going to go ahead and plant, just for this video, I'm going to plant 8. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And here I've got another farmhand arriving. And so now I'm just going to water these. Okay, now I need to fertilize them so I can double up. So there's my fertilizer, and here comes another farmhand. Alright, so now I have 8 rows of fertilized feed, and there are 15 feed per plot, and because they're fertilized, they're 30 feed per plot. So before I get into that, let's look at what we have in cucumbers right now. Right now I have a dozen cucumbers, and each cucumber makes 15. And my silos are full, so I can't really do anything with that. So anyway, just remember I got 12 cucumbers here. Alright, I'm about to harvest 8 plots using 2 farmhands. So here we go. Let's get the first one here, and she's actually one of my favorites. She's always on here and always does stuff. Okay, I'm just going to highlight, and you'll notice the highlights that go on underneath the plants when you mouse over. Alright, you just highlight the 4 that you want to do, and then you just click. And she drops in there, and she just harvests them. Now, if you don't have these fertilized, all she's going to do is fertilize them. So you want to make sure they're fertilized, and that way they're harvestable immediately. Now it'll come up with a screen that asks you to hire more farmhands if you want to. Okay, yeah. Alright. So now, all I've got to do is harvest them. They're ready to harvest. So I'm going to harvest these 4. Get those out of the way. And now that I've got another 4 down there, I'm going to go ahead and bring another farmhand in here. And I'm going to make sure that she's got all 4 of these highlighted, and I'm going to click on that, and she's going to ripen all 4 of these now. So, and remember I had 12 feed in my cucumbers before these 2 arrived. So now I've just put these 2 in here. I'm going to go ahead and harvest this. And I've got a prize crop out there too, so I'm going to go ahead and just real quick, I'm going to go ahead and see what this prize crop is. It's going to give me XP and stuff like that. I'm going to share this with my friends. It's good to have friends on Farmville, and I'll show you in another video how you can pick up just dozens of friends all at once. Okay, let's go back to our silo where we had 12 cucumbers, and now let's look and see how this has affected us. We have 28 from 12, so that's up 16, and each of those gives 15 feeds, so there's let's see, 150 and 75. There's 225 extra feed that I now have just due to my Farmhands. And also remember, I've got 2 Farmhands sitting down below. I would have done all 4 Farmhands except I didn't have enough fertilizer ready. So now I'm going to harvest all my animals and get the fertilizer and put them to work too, and I'll have another 16 on those. Well, there's how I use Farmhands, you know, to help me out. And the difference between farmhands and people who come and just help on your farm, these are your neighbors that just come and help on your farm. And unless you've instructed them freehand what to do, they just come to your farm and do stuff willy-nilly. And one of the things, like for example, I didn't really want this row pulled right from the center, but somebody came in and volunteered their help and just pulled that row from the center, which is okay with me. You know, I could have just let it wait. But the one thing about people who visit your farm, if you have a relationship with them and can communicate with them, chat with them or whatever, let them know what you want done before they come and visit your farm. Actually, one of the best things is watering your trees, especially if you have expensive trees like, say, this pine tree right here that takes 6 waters. If somebody can come and water 5 of those pine trees, you just saved yourself 30 waters. But anyway, that's a different video. But here's how you use Farmhands, or how I use Farmhands, and one of the best ways to get the most out of your farmhand experience. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this has helped out. If it has, please comment, rate, subscribe, and we'll catch you in another video.